Welcome students. Hope you all are doing well. Students, do you remember what we learned in the previous class? Yes, we learned about importance of water and water cycle. Today, we are going to learn about the topics water below the ground, multitudes of wells and wetlands. So, let's start. Sources of water can be classified as surface water and groundwater. Oceans, rivers, lakes and backwaters are the sources of fresh water. The water level in these are very shallow. Wells, ponds, tube wells, etc. are the sources of groundwater. What is groundwater? Water that collects or flows beneath the earth's surface, filling the porous spaces in soil, sediment and rocks. Water below the ground. Raindrops percolate into the tiny pore spaces of the soil and get collected there. There are numerous pore spaces in the soil. When we say something is porous, that means it has small spaces or holes in it through which liquid can move. Porosity is an indication of how much water a material can hold. Porosity is the term for the porous state. Clay is an example for porous material. Under normal conditions, these pores will be filled with air. These pores will be filled with water when rain occurs. When we say something is permeable, that means it allows liquids to pass through it. Some rocks are also porous. Such rocks can absorb more water. But water will be available only at places where the pores in the rocks are interconnected. This is due to the fact that water can move through these pores. This quality of rocks is known as permeability. All porous materials need not have permeability. For example, clay has high porosity but low permeability. This means that it will not permit water to pass through. Now you might have understood the reason for the accumulation of water in paddy fields. Nature has arrangements to store rainwater for rainless periods. Water scarcity will be the result if we disrupt the chances of water to percolate into the ground. You might have noticed that when pits are made for wells and other purposes, the soil moisture increases with depth. What if we increase the depth further? Water filled in the pores of the rock fills up with the pit through percolation. The abundance of water is because of the fact that all the pores in this zone is filled with water. The surface of the water-rich part beneath the ground is known as water table. The water stored beneath the ground is the underground water. Now let us learn about aquifers. An aquifer is a saturated area of sediment in the ground where groundwater can move through. Groundwater stored in aquifers can be brought to the surface using wells. Multitude of wells. The upper level of the water table forms the water level in the well. It's difficult to dig wells where the water table is deep. Tube wells are ideal in such situations. Tube wells are dug on rocks with the help of machines. Filter point wells. The term filter point wells are used for the shallow tube wells dug in sandy regions. Artesian wells. Let there be a permeable rock layer in between two impermeable rock layers. Water will rise the surface automatically due to pressure if we dig to this permeable rock layer. Such wells are known as artesian wells. The availability of water is due to the entry of water at some point to the permeable rock layer. Spring. Water will be flowing out along the surface wherever water table touches the ground. This is known as spring. At some places, such water flows are characterized with hot water. These are known as hot springs. Geysers. The phenomenon of severe ejection of water from within the earth at regular intervals is known as geysers. Example: the Old Faithful Geyser of the Yellowstone National Park in USA. The water that sweeps through the fissures on the earth comes in contact with the magma and leads to the formation of hot springs and geysers. Wetlands. Wetlands are natural sinks of surface water. Paddy fields, ponds, swampy region and all low-lying regions come under the category of lowlands. The water stored here form part of the groundwater. Reclamation of the wetlands, which are the natural sinks of water, will lead to several environmental problems like lowering of water level in wells, floods become common in rivers even in slight rains. Do you know when is World Watershed Day observed? Yes, it's on February 2nd. Hope you all understood what we learned today. We will meet in the next class with the rest of the topic. Thank you.